Good afternoon. For some of you, this could be the very first time. Oh, it's disappeared. Photons must have. There we go. This could be the first time that you've ever witnessed a rainbow happening without photons, isn't it? There are no photons. It's a myth. What's the bloody rainbow got? Go, magic touch. So, here we go. A rainbow without photons. How do we know there are no photons? Because during a solar eclipse, the moon is directly behind, the moon is directly in front of the sun, and it is casting its shadow with the light, absolute light, bouncing off of the sun. Right? There is no delay. Now, what we have here is once again 100% slam dunk without a shadow. Hey, it's a pun, not intended, but we'll take it anyway. Without a shadow of a doubt that is the absolute light radiating from the sun. How do we know? Because it is directly behind the shadow that the stick is casting. It is that basic. Answered a couple of messages earlier on today, and one not too long ago. Not answered, just, having a bit of chat. And people saying, no, it's because you don't understand how light works. It's because I don't understand how light works. I can see how the light is working right now, even with my shadow. Look, where are the photons? My hand is blocking the absolute light of the sun. Look, in real time. There are no photons. Just because you guys gave up your common sense doesn't mean everybody did, okay? There is a very, very obvious sign of absolute light here. It does not matter how many colours or what colour you paint this. What you have here is obvious sign of absolute light. Let me just clean that, dry that. All right. Boom, boom. There we go. Right, now, again, do you see how straight that line is? That line. The sun, we're seeing that line because of the sun. That's why we're seeing that line. The sun is hitting the back of the stick. Absolute light. It's everywhere. The stick is blocking the absolute light all the way down off the laminate onto the ground, right? The sun, as you can see, is directly behind that stick. Where is there time for photons? Please don't tell me that I don't understand light. I'm not in touch with how big our sun is. It's my freaking star. I am aware of how big it is, and I'm also aware that it radiates absolute light. I'm aware that it doesn't matter how far you are away from any light source in this universe. If you are seeing it, you are seeing it live, in real time, with no delay. There is no such thing as delayed light. There can be no light without a source. Photons, don't get me started. I only just got over last night. Now, if the sun were radiating photons. The photons were traveling at 299,792 kilometers per second. By the time they reached this stick to cast that shadow, that star up in the sky would not be there. It is impossible because it takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds. And in 8 minutes and 20 seconds, I tell you what, we would have to stay here now for 8 minutes and 20 seconds and watch the sun move. That is where the sun would be. But it's not. It's directly behind the stick. It's up there, right there. There is no delay. What is it that people cannot see? Talk about they've muddied the waters to make them seem ever so complicated. This is a very, very easy exercise, and it's all to do with common sense. Anything that goes beyond absolute light, anything that said, for example, there are photons that are traveling at 299,792 kilometers per second, would be fiction. And anything that leads on from there is also fiction. How do we know? Because we have two eyes in our head. There is a star radiating absolute light in the sky. Our sight is absolute. It sees things exactly where they are. We do not have to wait for photons to bounce off of the grass and then hit our retinas to then get a printout from the rods and cones department that it's green. We are seeing the grass at the very same time as the absolute light from the sun is shining on it. If sun turned off right now, it would be black, dark, like that, instantly. The light would disappear along with the light source. If it came back on, bang! It's like a light bulb lighting a living room up. There is no difference. People, if you want to lecture me about anything of this, the first thing you do is you come up with a logical explanation for a solar eclipse and finite light. Not like the ones that I've been getting, because there is no logic behind the things that people are saying. You're just stringing words together, hoping that they're going to fool me. Well, they don't. And some of you need to start using punctuation. Just saying, okay? Look, I'm going to leave it there. I think enough's been said, innit? All right, that is a wrap. One more time. Bang, see that? It's gone and moved, isn't it? Because I zoomed in. There we go, there it is. Absolute light from the sun, showing itself from behind the stick, bouncing onto the mirror. And if you go like that, you're seeing the absolute light from the sun. There is no delay. I will listen to anything, but it needs to come with a proper logical explanation. And X amount of people have proven it before is not an explanation for how a solar eclipse works. The solar eclipse came, this is one thing I've got to make very clear. This is what people are not understanding. Yeah, but such and such wouldn't work unless you don't get it. Light is absolute. So everything else, they've either lied to you about it or it's absolute as well. I'm convinced that radio would work like light. If you're out of range, you don't bounce a signal to someone and they get it the day after tomorrow. You're either within range, like light, you can either see it or you can't. Hello, are you there? Are you out of range? Can't hear me, must be out of range. Well, leave a message. Buzz me when you get this, bye. So what, that buzz me when you get this is going through the air. And he's gonna pick it up in X amount of, no. It starts with understanding that light is absolute. You either see it or you don't. You are within range of the light source or you are not. If you're not, it's not going to travel towards you. It does not work like that. And you know how we know? Because of a solar eclipse. And it's staring everybody in the face every single time one happens. How on earth can you fall for photons? All right, I am out of here. That's a wrap, innit?